You've probably heard about the famous vampire Dracula and thought to yourself that it's just a fictional story, but today we're going to tell you the story of a noble vampire that will blow your mind, so stay tuned. Elizabeth Báthory was born in 1560 in Hungary, growing up in the Grand Exit Castle. She came from a powerful and wealthy family with connections to some of the most influential leaders of the time, like her uncle, the King of Poland. Elizabeth was well educated, speaking several languages, and enjoyed all the privileges that came with her noble status. However, her childhood wasn't without struggles. She suffered from seizures, and the strange treatments of the time involved blood rituals, which some believe influenced her later behavior. Rumors also surrounded Elizabeth from a young age. At just 13, she was said to have secretly given birth to a child, fathered by a local peasant. The baby was reportedly whisked away, and the story remains shrouded in mystery, with many doubting its truth. In 1573, Elizabeth Báthory was engaged to Count Ferenc Nadasdy in a political match between two powerful families. They married in 1575, combining their lands in Transylvania and Hungary. As a wedding gift, Nadasdy gave Elizabeth the grand castle of Cheste, along with a country house and several villages. After their marriage, they lived at Nadasdy's castle in Sarvar. In 1578, Nadasdy became the chief commander of Hungarian troops, leading them into battle against the Ottomans. While he was away, Elizabeth managed their estates, taking care of business, defending their lands, and providing for the local people during the wars. The couple had several children, including their daughter Anna, who later married Nicola Zrinski. They also had Orsolya, Katalin, Andras, and Paul, who went on to become a significant figure in Hungarian history. While some sources mention other children, their existence isn't confirmed. Ferenc Nadasdy, Elizabeth Báthory's husband of 29 years, passed away on January 4, 1604, after years of suffering from a mysterious illness that left him disabled. Before his death, he entrusted his family to Gheorghe Thurzo, who would later investigate Báthory's crimes. On the eve of her 40th birthday, when one of her maids was combing the princess's hair with a stone comb, Elizabeth noticed a crease in her face in the mirror, and at the same time, her servant who was combing her hair pulled her hair tight, and the angry Elizabeth punched the servant in the nose, and blood flowed from the servant's nose. Elizabeth noticed that the young girl's blood on her hands made her skin softer, and she regained consciousness when she had sucked all the blood of the unfortunate maid. Elizabeth had found the best and most beautiful feeling of her life on top of the girl's lifeless body, the feeling of youth. To perpetuate this feeling, Elizabeth needed to drink and wash her body in the blood of the maidens. So, over more than 10 years, 600 maidens were hung on top of a marble tub and torn apart so that Elizabeth could drink from them and wash her delicate body in their warm blood. In 10 terrifying years, the villagers of Bathory Castle locked their doors when it got dark and listened to the screams and cries of girls and young women who were abducted from the streets by the terrifying Drashka. This situation continued until someone responded to the requests of the village priest. Between 1602 and 1604, rumors of Elizabeth's brutal acts spread across the kingdom. Lutheran minister István Magyari even brought complaints against her to the court in Vienna. In 1610, King Matthias II assigned Gheorghe Thurzo, the Palatine of Hungary, to lead an investigation. By 1611, over 300 witnesses had testified against Bathory, accusing her of torturing and killing young girls, including daughters of noble families who had been sent to her castle to learn etiquette. Witnesses described seeing traces of torture on bodies, some buried in graveyards and others in hidden locations. On New Year's Eve 1612, Thurzo arrested Bathory at her Cheste castle, along with 4 of her servants who were accused of helping her. Although popular stories claim she was caught in the act of torture, Thurzo's account reveals that she was actually having dinner when arrested. The dramatic tale of her being found covered in blood is likely a fictional exaggeration. Gheorghe Thurzo, along with Elizabeth Báthory's son Paul and her sons-in-law Nicola Zrinski and Gheorghe Drugath, debated how to handle the situation. Initially, they considered sending Elizabeth to a nunnery, but as the horrifying stories about her spread, they chose to place her under strict house arrest instead. Her family wanted to protect their wealth and avoid a public scandal, as her properties could be seized by the crown. The murder accusations were largely based on rumors, and there is no record of any official complaints made against Bathory at the time, which was unusual. 2 trials were held in January 1611, with the highest number of victims claimed being 650. This figure came from a servant girl, Susanna, who said that a court official had seen the number in one of Bathory's private books, though the book was never produced as evidence. On January 25, 1611, Georgi Thurzo wrote to King Matthias, confirming that Elizabeth Báthory had been captured and confined to her castle. Although Thurzo claimed she was locked in a bricked room, other records from a visit by priests in 1614 suggest she had more freedom, living under house arrest rather than strict confinement. In September 1610, Elizabeth wrote a will, leaving her possessions to her children. By the end of that year, she had finalized arrangements to distribute her estates and wealth among them. On the evening of August 20th, 1614, Elizabeth complained to her bodyguard about cold hands, and he reassured her it was nothing serious. However, she was found dead the next morning at the age of 54. Elizabeth Báthory was initially buried in the church of Cheta on November 25th, 1614. But due to the villagers' anger at having her buried in their cemetery, her body was supposedly moved to her birthplace, Exed, where it was placed in the Bathory family crypt. Today, the exact location of her remains is unknown, though some believe she might still be buried somewhere within the church area of her castle. Thank you for watching the video. If you like it, you can subscribe to our channel for more videos.